This is Indie Attack. I'm Woody.
I am Kelson.
And we are launching into a week of demos.
Yes.
With this. These are all demos for kind of bigger name, high concept indie stuff. Releasing, the demos are free, but the games are not going to be free. These are going to kind of be your major titles, big stuff coming out, later this year or going into next year.
Under the blanket,
like that. Yeah.
Under the blanket of indie, though, these are small. These are games that have been greenlit or Indiegogo'd or what have you, and it's a little bit of a change of pace from some of the other really lo-fi games that we play.
Stuff,
yes,
stuff like that.
Absolutely. So
we're going full bore on this first one and launching into the cultural phenomenon that is Five Nights at Freddy's.
Absolutely.
We actually played a little bit of both of these coming in. Kelson played 2 and I played 1.
I played through the demo basically of 2. The first 2 nights.
I played through 1 a little bit.
Yeah. So. Wow.
This game,
so cool.
If you're living under a rock and you don't know what this is, because it's quite popular right now, this is sort of a strategy resource management horror game. You are working in a Chuck E. Cheese analog.
Yes. From hell.
You work there from midnight to 6 a.m. During that time period, all of the animatronic mascots come to life. Mm-hmm. And they have minds of their own, and they will try to help people, because if they find you, they think you need to be inside of an animatronic suit, like they are. Mm-hmm. And so if they find you and catch you, they will stuff you into an animatronic suit and kill you.
Right. With the violence of a horrifyingly cute bunny, or bear, or what have you.
And to prevent that from happening, you have a power supply during the night, and your actions of what you do with that power supply kind of vary throughout both games. You have to check security cameras to see where all the different mascots are. Right. You have to close doors and turn on lights to, see where stuff is, to lock off certain areas.
You have to keep a...
And everything you do consumes power.
Yeah.
And you can consume far more power than you will need.
Right.
In
the second one, there's a music box that you have to keep wound constantly, and so that's basically a sort of 60-second ticking clock, and then when that one goes off, a puppet is like unleashed of some sort, and like
the second game also introduces a mascot head that you can wear to try and fool them. Mm-hmm. It introduces vents,
which is a truly scary thing,
and each different mascot has its sort of own AI routine of how it goes and wanders about the restaurant.
Yeah. Well, okay, so like the game plays though by you are static. You are sitting basically at your.
This game is essentially Night Trap.
Yeah, it's Night Trap. Oh my god, it is Night Trap. And there's like 12 camera feeds, and you're browsing through them. And the flow of the game is, it's funny, it's wicked, it's a wicked game, because it starts out with this guy being like, oh, hey, this is the stuff, they come to life, that you just kind of get all this information.
You made a poor career choice.
Yeah, like, I think it's cool as long as you keep that going, and the lights here, and then, and then some of them you have to flash the flashlight in their eyes to confuse them, and he's like, but you'll be okay, and maybe you want to hide in that suit. And I just thought the dark humor was awesome there.
That is apparently the developer, too.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Nice, dude. That was a great job. And you start out and he's like giving you, this is your job, and then you're looking, if you go to the one camera, you're looking at all the animatronic guys, they're just sitting there static, and then you look over, and then you go back, one of them's gone, Yes. And that is the sort of motion of the game is, oh man, I have to track this animatronic beast now.
Yes. And, this game deserves a lot of praise for some of the stuff it does. I have not seen a lot of things that have done, like, weird, creepy animatronic stuff, like, as a horror villain, and it's one of those, I'm surprised I haven't, because this seems like a really good concept for a horror movie monster.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like, when you get killed...
The weird double teeth thing that they have going on. There's kind of a weird, cutesy...
Donnie Darko sort of thing.
Uncanny Valley thing going on.
Yeah, the eye, those big friggin' saucer eyes coming at you, and like, just great. It's. I found this game to be extremely cinematic, because because obviously it's through the lens of cameras, but it really shows you how powerful shots and framing are, and when you see something that is
really creepily staring into the camera.
Right.
You know, there's a few really
At
good
you.
shots in the first game where it's like two tiny little red dot eyes that are barely glowing, like in a dark room, just staring directly into the camera.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really effectively creepy. And also, it's creepy, and it's just... This is made by one dude.
Yeah.
That is really... Made by one dude, and I will also note, the first game, Five Nights at Freddy's, came out, and I think it was August. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 came out in November.
Yeah.
That is one of the quickest turnarounds I've seen.
Super impressive.
Yeah.
And the second one looks... I mean, it's good looking, man. Like,
yeah, it's and it's kind of like, it's technically randomly generated, like how the Knights play out. As we said, all the different animatronics have their own AI routine.
Yeah.
For how they behave.
And there's different ways that you thwart them.
Like in the first game, there are one will always come down a certain hallway. And then there's also one where it hangs out in Pirate's Cove. And you have to check Pirate's Cove occasionally, because if you don't check it enough, it will come running down the hall towards you.
Right.
And will kill you immediately if you have that door open.
Right, definitely. And the element that is, I think, the creepiest in the second game is the mask that you put on, because you put it on and it completely alters your vision, and you just have the space suit breathing of your own breath, and you just sit there still, and you do that when you know something is coming into the room to get you, and it's a squeamish and just absolutely plays with your psyche, man.
Yeah, and this is such a good concept, because it's one of those things, it's kind of like I'm leading up to of, this is a game made by one guy, and this is a kind of horror we have not seen done for a very long time, and not nearly as effective as this.
Yeah.
Even when it was going on. And it's kind of like they just kind of whip this up. Like,
totally. And it's one of those other things that in creative arts where you're just like, man, like, how did no one else? How did no one else think of this?
Yeah, this is one of those. How has no one else done this yet?
And those animatronic creatures are inherently freaky. Especially as an adult, it's that thing where you look back on your childhood and you're like, wow, that is kind of a weird. Chuck E. Cheese was kind of a weird place. There's these robotic mouse, rockers and it's. Taking that to the extreme. Also, I was terrified of Chucky and the idea of toys coming to life as a kid. So, man, this could really mess with some children. It's what do not let your kids play this game. It is freaky.
And it's really popular. There's a lot of humor about this game. Shit Your Pants Simulator 2014, Escape Key Simulator 2014.
So I will say this, though, is that it is a game, because it relies very much on expertly crafted, but again, very cinematic jump scares. Is very much a part of this game. Because you're in that elevated state of tension, you're prepared. Personally, my sensibilities, I was ready for the jump scare, and I did jump. Believe you me, when I did get caught in my run through, oh boy, did I jump, because I didn't know what it was going to really ultimately be, but man, I definitely jumped. But it wasn't in complete abject terror. I'm going to say that. Like, it's spooky and eerie, but I think, honestly, I just think it's fun. Like, I thought it was like a fun, like you said, time management game, that is in a very fully realized place.
It's very funny to think of a game like this, because imagine how the reception of a game like this would change if it was the exact same thing, but you just changed the visuals
had...
Like, if this was not a horror game.
Oh, right, totally.
Was like a boring office management.
Or if it was just like a Chuck E. Cheese and everything was kind of hunky-dory, and like you had to just keep everything...
instead of
get the pizzas out.
Problem children.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, annoying kids, you have to wind up the thing for the kid, and, yeah, and I think honestly... as scary as the sort of sleep paralysis that it puts you in, that state of just being locked in, I think it would be way scarier if you had to walk around, like, honestly, I think, and it would be a different game, obviously.
I don't know if I necessarily disagree with that, because it definitely is jump scares, and you do get scared by them when it happens, because it's a jump scare, and it is scary.
Yeah. But
I think it manages to be scary and, like, spooky and atmospheric in spite of everything kind of being a jump scare.
I completely agree.
It's takes skill to make you still scared about what's going to happen, even when you know exactly what is going to happen.
Yes, I definitely, and like I said, I did jump, and I do think, like, his compositions, what he chooses to do with messing with the frames is just phenomenal. Like, I definitely appreciate it. I guess I just wanted to say that I didn't find this to be like a shit your pants simulator.
Yeah.
I found it to be just really cool and really
Yeah.
fun and scary, but a fun scary, you know? Just
Yeah.
the tone was such that it was very dark, but I saw that it had a sense of humor too.
So that's Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
We probably don't need you to check this out, really.
Yeah, it's definitely a buzz game.
Because, yeah, there's a lot of buzz about this. You haven't heard of it here first.
Yeah, but I definitely think I would recommend it. Absolutely. Yeah. It's really cool. It's unique and
worth checking out.
And well made. You know, I wanna play the full version just to see how intense it gets, but just from the demo I was definitely hooked.
Yeah.